I'm with Tommi Uhari from Liqum. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks, Ben.
I'd like to start our conversation off by having you just tell us a little bit about who you guys are. What do you guys do? Where are you guys from? And who are your customers?
Yeah, so basically, we are a company who's kind of trying to solve a problem of continuous water quality assurance. So we've seen a problem in the way that most of the potable water is monitored in the world today. So first of all, like in the Western world, all of the water is monitored. There's kind of sampling programs, samples are taken at daycare or schools or kind of according to like different regulations in different countries. They are shipped off to a laboratory and then the water is tested. The dilemma with this approach is that the results are typically, or actually always, available after the water's been consumed. The only early warning system that most water companies have in place for whether the water that people are drinking is not of sufficient quality is that the people are calling the water company and complaining about some stomach ache or other things like that. So we've developed a real-time solution that basically, it's a probe the size of this water bottle that basically is connected to the water pipeline. It measures the change in the water quality. So basically, if you know, or if the water company knows that there's a certain time that the water quality is good, if there's a significant enough deviation to that, our system will send off an alarm, and the water company can take appropriate action. So what we advocate is the philosophy of moving from a time or sample-based system to a continuous monitoring solution that can give an earlier warning and can also kind of, in some cases, reduce the need for sample taking.
There's a lot of different elements that could, impact what, if water is good or bad or harmful or not harmful.
That's right.
How does your system figure out what the issue is and what is it actually capturing as far as data is concerned, in a real-time format?
So our system is based on a measurement of electrochemistry, and then a kind of it's kind of complicated. It's a neural network calculation of like what's the overall ion consistency in the water. This doesn't find like all the possible contaminants, but it's pretty good for a wide range, and it's very sensitive. The system's very robust. It runs off a battery, depending on the frequency of the measurement for 1 to 3 years. So let's say it detects many changes in the water quality, and it can give you an indication that you really need to take a sample and better analyze at what exactly is the consistency change in the water. So our system doesn't tell you the exact change, but it tells you that there is a change and you should do something about it. It's like having a fire alarm in the house.
Is there a one-size-fits-all probe, or are there probes that are sized based on the size of the pipe?
Basically, the probes are one physical size, and they can be either fitted directly into a pipe, or there can be a kind of side flow out of the pipe, and the probes fitted into that. Then for different applications, we have a kind of way to select the electrode material so that they are more sensitive to certain substances. So we've developed a couple of specific solutions for that, depending on the type of area that our customers are targeting. Let's say the most popular solution that we have is the kind of clean water probe that's kind of usable either, let's say, if you are doing a bottled beverage like source water, or if you're trying to monitor that how is the production process that you are running to create potable tap water, how's that working? So,
as somebody that's an expert in water sustainability, Can you share with us some of your thoughts on where you see the differences in how the different parts of the world are tackling water problems? The issues happening in Europe are much different than some of the issues that are going on in Asia or in the States. So how do you guys as an international company, handle the differences, and what are those differences?
So basically what we see is that there's an underlying issue that's the same all over the world, and it's the fact that with increasing population we are kind of using the world's resources more, and water is one of those resources. So in any area where the population density is growing, we are using more, or where basically population density is growing, or industry is growing, or agriculture is growing, we are basically using more water than we have used before. So what we see is that the water resources capability to replenish themselves is becoming more and more limited. The United Nations has coined a term called the Water Safety Plan, and it means that basically instead of only measuring the water at its consumption point, you try to figure out that in each water case, like what's the best upstream method for controlling the water quality. And that's what we advocate, that you should measure at the point of consumption, but you should understand the process for creating the water in that case and go upstream there. And we see that this phenomena is actually the same all over the world. There are some problems that we see in parts of the developing market where, let's say, the water distribution pipeline can be the weak link of the system. And there, let's say, it's difficult to find solutions without kind of working on the distribution system itself. But if your distribution system is in shape or in good enough shape, water quality monitoring can be a kind of big, can help you in the right way to allocate your investments and kind of providing better water quality for your customers.
So I'm a potential customer, and you come to me and you say that you save me on the lag time between, finding out when a problem is actually occurring. You will provide that, to me on a real-time basis, so that we can be more proactive in, identifying or addressing the issue. Give me a quantifiable reason on why that matters to me. How do I make the business case to, the decision maker, or for you to a potential customer that really finally gets them to say, okay, we need to incorporate Liqum's technology into what we're doing on a daily basis?
Yeah, so we see like two main cases. So first of all, the people who are really providing drinking water for consumers. So here, let's say, the Liqum technology provides an additional early warning system and an alarm into possible changes in the way that you create water. And let's say you probably want to know as quickly as something has changed so that you sleep better. That's what many of the water plant managers tell us, that this system helps them sleep better at night because they know that this is an additional stopgap for any issue that they see. Then the industrial applications where our solution can be used, it can be used for like clean water control, but in reality our technology works for controlling most liquids. And we've had customers, let's say in the paper or in the mining industry, that see benefits from using our systems that are measurable in the millions of dollars.
Wow. Okay.
So basically, but those can be cases where either the customer was not in control of the process without measurement equipment before, and our solution, because it's robust, battery operated, but still sensitive, it can provide answers to questions that they didn't have for controlling their process before.
So Tommi, talk to me about why you're playing in this space. Why have you decided to spend this stage of your career on these issues and with this company? Why does this industry interest you?
It's a quite personal question. I started my career making mobile phones, and let's say I was looking back at my career and thinking that one of the times I was most enjoying my life was when there was a kind of a big growth in that business going on. And the most exciting thing I saw at that time was that we were able to provide mobile phones for people who had not had means to communicate like via telephone before. So I thought that was meaningful. So let's say it sounds kind of quite ambitious, but helping people lead a better life, I felt satisfaction in that. And I think now, let's say in Liqum and this ability to assure people of water quality, there's potential. There's like the similar potential of kind of doing something that's important. The business aspect can be interesting, but let's say for me, being able to couple both, that gives me satisfaction.
Before we let you go, is there anything else that you want to say?
So we believe that at Liqum, what we are kind of doing is like trying to change the way that the people think about water quality monitoring, and we're trying to move to a real-time system and provide like really a number of different measurement points around the world. We believe that there are other companies who are doing that, and overall, we have a vision that together we can create a network of measurement points and an overall transparency into one of the most important natural resources on Earth, which is clean water. And we believe that, let's say, being part of that mission is going to be exciting for us and all our partners.
Tommi, thanks so much for being with us today. I really appreciate it. Much continued success for you, and look forward to staying in touch.
All right. Thanks, Ben. Same to you.